This one was made in 1921. It's a Graflex. It's got a curtain shutter on the back, which I'll show you in a second. And they're quite a simple design because the curtain in the back, you basically wind it to a section that you want. So that's a big gap, and there's a smaller gap, and there's a smaller gap, and there's a smaller gap. And because it's an SLR, and it needs, this is a tensioner, this tensions that. Because it's an SLR, you can look down through it and shoot. And
that makes one hell of a sound.
Then the mirror folds up and that happens. And that's your shutters. So the way it works is you take a light meter reading and you work out the shutter speed you need. And you always go the one below the one it is, because this one seems to go faster. Most old cameras go slower because they've been worn and stuff. This one goes slightly slower. Slightly too fast, so I have to slow it down a touch. So you go on here, say if you want, just have a look, this popular speed of 550, it says 1/8 at the top, and the other way is number 3. So you'd wind this up to number 3, and you wind this up to 1/8. Quarters, 3/8, and 1/8. That's now ready to shoot at that shutter speed. Focus on bellows. And this is a cobbled together lens, because this one used to have a shutter in it, but somebody's taken the shutter out and turned it into this. And it's very, very sharp, so I'm very happy. 180, 220, something like that. I love it. You know, this has survived since 1921. And it's just a thing of beauty. At the end of the day, you've got to let everything down again, so you're not putting any pressure on the springs. I've added these hooks because the bag I carry in, I've now put a camera strap on it. So now I can unhook that from the bag. It's now a wearable camera, which is quite cool. I had to put a Fresnel lens in it because it was very, very dark inside there. It's like looking into an abyss. But yeah, it's okay now. I modified this slightly because it used to take a different back, so I put an extra slidey thing on here so I can shoot normal dark slides, but I've ground a groove in there with a Dremel on both sides, so it actually sits in the groove, and I can shoot normal fidelity dark slides, which is quite handy. There we go, ready to go. So to shoot it, first thing you've got to do is open this up, and we had 5.6 at what was it, 60th, wasn't it? So you look up on the back, 60th, 65th, so you always go one lower, so it's a 50th. So it's 3/4 at number 2. So you turn this up to 3/4, which is there, and this on number 2. That's now ready to shoot. All it's got to do now is focus. The only thing about this camera is it only shoots in landscape. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Mr. Shooter Man. And you've got to wind that up one click, because it's already gone down one click other way. And it's on 3/4 again, and that'll stay on number 2 anyway.
And then where's the shutter?
That side. You've got your thumb on it already, ready to go.
It's the coolest thing ever. That is actually insane. Oh my god. It's like an RZ67, but just big. This is insane.
I'm going to adapt it a little bit more yet to put a rotating back.
Bit difficult to see though.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't half smell old, does it?
4 years old. It's gonna stink, isn't it?
God, it's a bit difficult to see. There we go. And then, oh yeah. This is so strange.
It's weird having this alive by 4.
Yeah, this is probably the strangest camera I've ever shot. Alright, 3, 2, 1. That is so cool! I thought I should just pop in here and explain some things real quick, because as you can tell, the image didn't really go to plan. So the obvious thing is that there is a double exposure, and that's because me and Simon were just a bit distracted with him explaining how the camera works, and me just being, you know, overwhelmed with the information about the camera, and we both just completely forgot to flip the dark slide over, or flip the film holder over. And I'm quite disappointed that I didn't ask him if he had done it, because the portrait that I took of him looks like it has the potential to be really good. But the second thing I want to mention is the weird little dots on the photo. This film was fresh, it was loaded properly, it was shot properly, other than the double exposure, and it was developed properly. Yet each photo that we took with this Graflex camera has these weird little dots on it. And when I was done developing, Simon was just as confused as I was, because only the day before he had shot the exact same film and it was completely fine, just no imperfections whatsoever. Yet when we shot it today, every single image had these weird dots on it. So it wasn't exactly like it was a bad batch of film or anything, it was just a weird coincidence. And we couldn't really find any logical reason for this, but the next clip might explain, you know, why it happened. And it might just be, you know, a bit of a coincidence that Simon says what he's going to say, and then when we have the film, all these weird markings are on it. But long story short, this camera might be haunted, and might have stolen mine and Jen's soul. Like I have a soul.
This camera has a little bit of history to it. I won't mention any names just in case any of the family are still living. There's a chap this came from Germany originally. The guy bought it in 1921, he was a preacher. And he's in a tiny little village in Germany, and he bought this camera and he photographed the moon with it just to test it. Then he decided he wanted to photograph his parishioners, and he had built a church out of like a garden shed. It's like a white shed that he built, and he had 15 parishioners in his chapel, church, whatever it is. Yep. And he decided to get them all outside, the 15 people, and he took a picture on this of the 15 people sitting outside the church. Then he proceeded to murder every single one of them. Yeah, which is quite bizarre. After he killed them all, he fled to America. The church was dismantled and taken apart and thrown away. And the people who were taking it apart at the time, this little boy was watching, and he said, "Do you want this? You might do a bit of photography when you're older. Have this camera." That guy took this camera, took it home, and he put it on a shelf, and he never shot it, not once. And it sat on his shelf until he died of old age, that little boy, and his son had it, and his son knew nothing about it and decided to sell it on eBay. And that's where I picked it up, and I love it. It's cool, isn't it?
That is mental.
Yeah, serial killer's camera.
How very holy and religious.
Yes. Yeah, I did take it to work and people said, "No, it's probably full of souls. You're not taking my picture with it."
You're cursed now.
Yeah.
You're actually cursed.
And it's weird because all the film I've shot on this so far, apart from one shot, there's been like strange faults on the film. And I know it's old film, but I've been shooting old film for years. But every time I shoot it on this, there's little things that happen.
So you just stole our souls.
Yes, and this is cursed. But apart from that, it's all good.
Apart from the, you know, the life-changing past.
Yeah. Apart from the soul stealing, it's a brilliant little camera. It's not too big to carry around. It's okay. Because it's got a modified lens on it, I couldn't put a door on it because they've usually got a door on the front that keeps the lens clean. But I'm going to eventually change this lens for a nice little brass one, and that'll look a bit nicer.
One of those projector lenses.
Yeah, I've got plenty of them, but I'll probably get a small compact brass 150. There's plenty on eBay. At the end of the day, with this as well, you've got to put the mirror down and you've got to release the tension off everything. Because you don't want the springs to get worn, so you take the tension off every time you finish using it. So the only modification I'm going to do eventually, because this is a Graflex, auto Graflex, it only does landscape, which is really annoying. And I've got a 5.4 one at home, a bigger one, bigger 5.4, which actually does, it's got a rotating back. So I might modify that back eventually and put it on here so I can have a rotatable back, because I like doing portraits and it's not very much fun doing that and looking in that way. But you can, because it's got a tripod mount somewhere. There, look. So you can actually shoot on its side.
A bit disorientating.
Yeah, but when you're doing this and you're trying to look in it and take an upright portrait, it's really difficult. So I want a rotating back.
And then you have an RV.
Yeah, well, I can also shoot. I've got that 6.7
Oh yeah.
back that also fits this, so I can shoot medium format as well on it.
Does the Loma Graflock also?
Yeah, I've shot with a Loma Graflock on this, but the only thing we couldn't get right with the Loma Graflock is the spacing,
Wow.
because you would have to lift, you'd have to take the glass out of here, put the Loma Graflock spacer underneath it,
Yeah.
to be able to focus it. So we were sort of guessing, is it too far away? Is it closer? Is it? We did get some shots, but you had to sort of guess where focus was.
Yeah.
But once you've taken one shot, if you shoot something that's got lots of things in, you can work out, oh yeah, it's focusing back there. So you can focus just past somebody, and you can, and it works.
Can't you just like set the aperture really high?
You can. Yeah, but it's yeah, it's quite difficult to shoot on a Loma Graflock, but it did work.
Alright, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's, yeah, it's so cool. That is honestly one of the coolest cameras I've ever used. It's so cool. Jen, I think I might need one. Do you want to buy me one for my birthday? Oh, God. I was in a bush. Do you want to get a lovely portrait of me and Jen?
Okay, that's where mirror's down, ready to go. Proper grumpy looking. No smiling.
I'm all happy now.
A bit more this way, actually. I am liking it, but I like super ridiculously shallow. Could I get you facing the camera towards me? This is quite nice here. And then you get some landscape ones as well. Oh, this is a good thumbnail. Very nice.
When you're shot in the road, you have one different place to put my camera.